Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. Here's going to be probably part 2, the beginning of part 2 on our CR500 teardown project. Good and bad news. Good news is I do have the stator came in the mail. I actually already got it installed, but we haven't checked it out yet to see if we got spark. Bad news is though I did unreveal some nasty damage on these front forks that we're going to have to address and maybe even get a new set because I know they're looking pretty bad. Last video, the editing didn't really turn out too good, so I'm going to try to also be learning that as we go on here as well, guys. So bear with me. I know that last editing didn't really turn out as well as I would have liked. But anyway, we're going to be going more into detail on some of these now that we're getting closer to tearing the engine apart. But real quick to zoom you guys in, you can see I got the new stator installed. Almost looks a little bit more beefier where the coil's wrapped around and stuff like that. One thing I will have to do now is probably give me a little bit more slack in these wires since I did have to cut a little bit to resolder. Here we go. We're going to get started putting this flywheel back in. Hopefully the camera angle is all right. But first I want to go ahead and show you some of the mega fork damage we got going on here. As you can tell, that chrome is completely worn out. I want to get this flywheel bolted up and check if we got spark. All right, here we go. I think this is take number 3 on the lineup. We're going to get our shim put in there. Try to line it up as best as we can by eye. Let's see if that wants to slide on there now. Good. All right, guys, so now that we got our flywheel back installed, we're going to go ahead and hit the Kickstarter over and see if we got any spark going on up here. So I'm going to have to take off this camera here so you guys can see. So let me try to tap the screen, make sure we still got a picture. Alright, it's going to be a little bit difficult me trying to hold this because you do need your plug grounded. Anytime you're checking for spark, you'll definitely still need your plug touching metal. If you're just holding out on the open, you will never get spark. So you're definitely going to need that plug grounded to metal. Let's see if I can do this here. Let's see if anything shows up. Oh, I got a little one. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Here we go. There, we got a spark. There's a spark. I don't know if it's showing up. So now we do have spark. We will. We're going to go ahead and continue tearing this bike down. We're going to pull this flywheel back off, remove all of the electronics, as long as the coil and all that, and then start getting into probably the other side of the motor. We'll pull the clutch off and check out the water pump and go from there. Woo! Hot potato, hot potato. And believe it or not, guys, just that little bit that we tightened this, I cannot get this flywheel off. Now, every time you're doing this from fresh, you're definitely going to have to get a gear puller or something like that. Now, your little rubber bushing over here, or little rubber boot housing, whatever you want to call it, you should just be able to slide right to you. Check where your wires are, make sure you don't pull nothing. And then now you got a nice open end that you can get your gear puller on. I'll go ahead and have to loosen that up a little bit. Stick it on the other end. Also, on a CR500 like this, there's nothing on the back side you got to worry about binding, okay? So once you grab that flywheel, you should be good to go. Let's see if I can get this even by hand, maybe. Oh, there we go. We did get it. Cool. All right, so that's that. Pop your flywheel off. Make sure you do not lose your shim. All the time, just throw that, stick it right to the magnet, and you can put your nut there as well. All right, we're going to go along to the other side, get this coil off. Bikes. Alright guys, so I guess my SD card filled up that quick on whatever. Like I said, this technology ain't my specialty here, but anyway, we're going to keep on pulling these our clutch springs off here and take a peek on inside. this section there. Not totally seized up or nothing. Sometimes you'll take these clutches apart and they're just totally seized up. None of the rings want to separate. So we pulled it out this way, put it facing down, just the way it came out. Your rod coming out now. Remember guys, always pay attention to the order on how things come apart, because they're going to have to go back the same way. So do not mix the layers of that sandwich, all right? Uh-oh. So we still had a washer behind here. And that flipped, that almost looks like that flipped when it fell. Yeah, that looks right. So that even would have went in this way. Even something as simple as a washer, guys, is important to know which way it was facing. You have the way these washers are punched out by the steel, and believe it or not, it makes a difference whether it's facing one way or the next. Okay, so try not to rearrange or misplace your parts there. Alright, so now we got our reeds out. We'll go ahead and inspect those. At first glance, I mean, they all look pretty good shape so far. All the edges are still intact. So honestly, we probably don't even have to replace these reeds. They look pretty good. We might still try to go with some type of performance reeds though. Maybe get a little bit more, a couple extra horsepower out of this bad boy. Alright, one more thing off the motor. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this bracket. And then I got one more surprise in store before we go ahead and pull this motor out, okay? So Alright, so we're about ready to pull this motor from the frame. But before we do that, guys, I got to add on to the project, to the build. So we're going to be trying to go with an extended swing arm on this bike. I got these aluminum brackets somebody had started to make up, but bailed out on the project, something I found on like eBay or whatever. But anyway, so we're going to be putting them into this swing arm here. As you can see, it's all stripped out or whatever. So we're going to put those into the swing arm, get it mounted on the bike, mocked up, and see you know, what kind of chain size we're going to have to order, and as well as if the axle is going to work or not. So we're probably going to have to get an axle made up for this, and also, you know, relocating the brackets for the brake, if we're going to even run a back brake, and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get these hammered in, mounted on the bike, mocked up, and see how it looks. here we go. Check it out, guys. Got it mocked up there in place. We are going to have to order a little bit wider axle, have one made up, and we're definitely going to have to run with a pretty long chain here, about 150 links I had counted up. But check it out. I think it's going to be sweet when it's all done. We'll be ready for the drag strip, hill climb. All right, now that we got it mocked up and we got a rough idea of what we're getting into, we're going to finish tearing this thing down and get on to the motor. Oh man, you can hear that sound nasty up there. Ooh. Smells like 30 years. Ooh. Oh. No, I didn't, guys. No, I didn't. Oh man, I told you Poppy was a little sloppy. I just dropped my socket in there. So hopefully that's not the right size. We'll see if that was the one I needed or not. Shut this bad boy back on for a little bit. All right, so here we go. I think this is our right socket that we need finally. Let's check it out. There we go. All right, now we can start knocking these bolts through. Tear this baby out. Oh, pop and drop. All right, that's our last bolt. Get ourselves in here, we should be good to go. Take her out. She's out. Big old fat turkey. Alright guys, so that's it. We got the frame stripped down, ready to roll. Gonna have to prep this thing, get it ready for some paint, or might even just go with like some air dry Cerakote for this one because it's this is a little too big for the oven. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video where we start tearing into this motor over here. One more look at this baby. We'll start tearing down into this motor, get it ready to roll, and then also we'll be working on the wheels. I got new rims and spokes to lace these wheels with. And that'll be the next ones. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.